Good morning. My name is Tom Michalak. I currently chair the St. Jude Finance Committee, and I'm here today in the season of stewardship to give you all a quick update on how we're doing at answering the call. This morning, I propose a trade. If you have not already done so, I would like to trade some of our information for yours. Before we can talk too much about how we're doing for next year's commitments of stewardship, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about how we're doing with some of the aspects of this year's commitment to stewardship. So as you can see behind me, we are tracking very close through the end of January with what we budgeted for as far as financial performance. We are very close on track with parish receipts, parish spending, school receipts, school spending. It's all very much in line with what we expected to see. Thank you for your support, your commitment, and your generosity to make those things happen. Things, as I mentioned, they're on track with where we expected to be, but they're still very tight. So what is the impact of your generosity? Well, we're seeing a lot of evidence that St. Jude is, in fact, a very growing and vibrant parish. We have lots of involvement, and we're seeing increasing signs that more and more families are embracing St. Jude as a place to come together. Some of the key indicators that you can look at, infant baptisms, for example. In fiscal year 2012 and 13, we did 58 of those. We saw that number grow to 62 last year. So far this year, we've done 32, and as many of you know, the springtime is an extremely popular time of year to baptize, so it seems like we're on pace to even exceed last year's numbers. We can look at marriages and see a similar trend. 16 2 fiscal years ago, 22 last year, 11 so far, and as you know, as we wind out the fiscal year and get into May and June, it's wedding season. At the other end of the life cycle, we have, of course, family burials, which are never good news, but I think these are also a sign that more and more families are interacting with St. Jude. 32 years ago, 43 last year. We've done 21 so far this year. Growth. It's, unfortunately, in that case, it's still a good sign. Registered households, we've seen an increase in that as well. We had 1,726 last year. We're at 1,744 today. So good things are happening here because of your generosity. And we can talk for a little bit more about how you have answered the call so far this year for those of you that have. So last year we had 588 households that sent over a financial commitment to St. Jude. Those households met 93.8% of the amounts that they pledged. So for those of you who did that last year, we want to extend a hearty thank you. As we plan for parish resources and look at what is it we can do in the coming year, these are very important statistics for us to have a good handle on. So far this year, we've had approximately 450 households, which is about 25% of the parish so far, submit a response. If you've not already submitted a response, now's the time. We can't plan properly if we don't know what level of support we can come to expect from the parish. So the more responses we get, the easier it is to make all of St. Jude function the right way. So a couple of highlights that we saw as we looked into some of the information that's come in so far, starting with something as basic as attending a Sunday Mass. So far, we've had 618 respondents say they would come to a regular Sunday Mass. That's a wonderful number. Our goal is 60%, so we're not there, but hopefully today, some of you can take the time to submit a card. Out of the folks that said they'd come to Mass, 208 said they would be willing to invite a friend to Mass. I think we're a very social group, and that certainly shows up here. Everybody loves a festival. We've had 352 folks step up to be festival volunteers. If you've ever done it, you know it's a massive commitment of time, and we need lots more volunteers to pull it together. On the school side, we have 141 folks say they'd be classroom volunteers. 100 people have stepped up as PTO volunteers. Fantastic numbers for the programs that they operate. Anna's House, we've had 113 of you say that you would be involved with that. On kind of a more private function, we've had the Rosary Makers. They get together and they make rosaries to send off to distant parts of the world. We've had 30 folks step forward with that this year. It's a great commitment there. We love our Donut Sundays. The Donut Sunday team has grown to 33 folks that have now volunteered to do it. But it's not all rosy. Our drum corps needs reinforcements. We've had 3 folks step forward so far this year. So if you're a closet steering wheel drummer or something, now's the time. Our goals for this year, though, we wanted 60% to attend Sunday Mass. We'd like each parishioner to volunteer in at least one event in some way, get involved and meet some folks. And then, of course, we've got a financial goal of $1.75 million. So that's what we're hoping to see. It's not too late. If you haven't submitted yours, we've got 81 opportunities to choose from. You can find something interesting, fun, maybe even challenging. You can do the form two ways. There's one online at stjudeindy.org, or there's a table set up in the back with paper forms and envelopes. Fill your form out, seal it in the envelope, and we will pick those up and make sure they get processed. Any responses that are received by next weekend, we can include for planning for next year. As I mentioned, we do budget based on the pledges, and of course the programs that we operate all depend on your support and your volunteerism to survive. So please complete yours today. Thank you very much, and God bless.